Well, I think with Butch, a private landowner is getting both a forest consultant and an extension forester and a logger all in one guy. They're probably learning a lot more about the science behind forestry, forest ecology, and forest management and fire than just getting a product, because that helps them to start to manage and take more of a role into managing their own land.
I'm a composer, right? And there are certain things that matter to composers. Music develops out of seeds. So that's what we wanted to see with this place. We wanted this thing to flourish.
I manage approximately 20,000 acres in Wallowa County. When we come in here and first started working, it was so thick. It's hard to see what you was wanting to leave and what you was wanting to take. So we would go in, we would mark an area, we'd take a few trees out, then we'd go back and we'd look at it, and then take a few more trees out till we got to the spacing we wanted, so that the trees that we were leaving were good form, good growing trees, a good merchantable saw log in the future. My crew was very careful. There's no trees skinned up at the base. They didn't rub them with the logs. We don't beat them around.
So Butch has been great in managing forest diversity, that is species diversity, stand density.
There's a big benefit to doing this to this land. So when we selective cut on a sustainable yield like this, and we come in and we cut 2,000 feet year one, 10 years later you cut 2,000 feet, 20 years, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, you've logged it 8 times, 2,000 feet to the acre each time. That's 16,000 board feet, and never lost the original aspect of the land. Never changed the ecosystem.
Butch Tanzey's work drastically reduces the fire risk in the stands that he manages, from both the ladder fuels, the crown separation, and even his slash treatment techniques.
Oregon forest practice rules and regulations that we have to follow are good rules. They're doable.
He's exceeding the Forest Practice Act all the time. He thinks about snags for cavity nesters and birds, dead wood on the ground for insects and bears. Talks a lot about how his projects are enhancing wildlife habitat for deer and elk. And since he is a big fisherman and a big hunter, he always says like he's more of an environmentalist, because he's truly doing something that he knows is going to make the forest a better place.
It's like growing carrots. I said, you till up the soil, you plant your seeds, you cover them up, you water them, they come up, you pull part of them out because they're too thick, and you get nice big carrots. We want nice big pretty trees.
They do a lot with their grinder and their mulching head and putting nutrients back into the soil.
You come back next spring, you won't be able to tell we was even here. And so very little impact on the land.
The weather was a challenge just because they were expecting to have hard, solid frozen ground in the middle of the winter in January. And we got a bunch of warm temperatures. It started raining, got soft.
We quit before a lot of the other loggers do, because if you dig deep ruts out there when you're logging, you damage the roots of the trees that you're leaving, you're going to get root rot, all kinds of problems started.
Basically, they took it upon themselves, probably losing money, to wait until conditions got better.
The knowledge component, though, that's been the critical part, because Butch's knowledge of the process of forest management and silviculture, Butch's experience in the woods.
He's literally the only logger I know that could probably work for OSU Extension and educate and put on educational lessons to people. I mean, he's very knowledgeable. He'll literally go out and tell a landowner, like, I'm gonna cut that tree, but I'm gonna leave that tree, and I'm gonna cut that tree, and this is why. And so he's very patient with people. Butch is just an extremely passionate guy, loves working in the woods. He loves forestry, forest management, the industry, his family, kids, Wallowa County, the town of Wallowa, our economy. He definitely treats every stand as if it's his own property and that he's going to be managing it for generations to come.
We appreciate the earth. If you take care of it, it'll take care of you.
You know, if he knows there's an issue out on a logging job, he probably can't sleep at night. I mean, he's devoted his life to this. It shows in how passionate he is.
What's it worth having this to look at, having this to walk in, having this to wake up and say, God, we've done this?
When I'm gone, I figure that maybe I'd left something for the next guy or the next generation.